Hey y'all, it's Andrew. I'm here to tell you about my coming out process so far because it's still going and it's not completely over. First of all, I'd like to apologize for posting this video a day late. We've been going through finals weeks and writing papers, exams, and um, life stuff and coming out to my trying to balance coming out to my mom at the same time. So the coming out process, it took me since freshman year, where my spring semester, I had come back from spring break and was in the middle of reading uh, The Riddle of Gender that my sister had lent me, and I basically called her up and was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I think I'm trans, and it's been a question that I've been that's been through my mind um, ever since I had started coming out this year, which was my freshman year. And I, at that point, I was really on a very, very low. And I was very depressed, and I was thinking about transferring schools because I had thought that the school environment was very bad and very hostile for queer people because of the fact that I was surrounded by, um, you know, people who were very heterosexual and cisgender. So um, I decided to see a counselor on campus, but that wasn't very effective. So I essentially spent my summer like I spent my summer at home, which was even worse because I wasn't ready to come out to my parents, and I don't think they were ready to um, listen to anything just because of the fact that we had gotten into an argument, a really huge argument, where they didn't let me live off campus. And so I was going to prepare to live on campus with my assigned birth gender and some random roommates for the coming year. So that was not a good thought to be having the whole summer. And so I kind of resorted to going on Tumblr and finding the trans and F to M community. And so that kind of sustained me through the summer. And when I came back for the fall for sophomore year, that's when I had started to come out socially, but very slowly to my friends. I had taken up a very gender neutral name, and it didn't really work in the beginning because I didn't pass, so people didn't get it. So um, I eventually transitioned to Andrew, and yeah, that was I wasn't ready to come out to my professors in sophomore year because I was still hesitant about accommodating people, which is really um, something that I was in the process of going, and it was a long process of accepting me and embracing the fact that I had to go through this and not be afraid to take the next step in my transition. And so the whole time I had been wanting to go on hormones and everything, looking at all these trans guys and they were already on hormones and like top surgery and blah blah blah. So this past summer, I had come out. Well, first of all, I had already come out to my younger brother who was 16, and he took it better than he had taken me at first when I had come out to him as gay, because he was older at this time now. So since he already knew I was kind of queer, um, he wasn't surprised that I was trans, but he was a little worried um, of what I would have to go through when I will be coming out to my parents. So this summer was the first time I had come out at work. So I had taken a summer internship in DC, and on my application I was so hesitant to I was basically doubting the fact that I would get in because I was afraid that my the applicants would the application people would be turned off by my transness and having to, do all these things like differently when doing confidential stuff, and then calling me a different name in a social setting. But I got in, and it was overall a positive experience, despite the fact that at one point my co-interns were talking about or questioning about my gender expression and questioning my actual gender, but not really putting a name to it. And so eventually I did dispel those rumors, and I had to tell people my boundaries and then my need for confidentiality, and to look at me as a man no matter what. And no matter what part of my transition process I was, because this is something that's different than other trans people, because having to live in pre-transition phase for like a lot more time than most people is a really tough process. And I realize that I don't give myself enough credit for the fact that I am going through a tougher process than most trans guys. And having to question if I pass every day is for almost 2 years and binding for almost 2 years is a really um, it's energy sucking every day. So coming out, everyone found out on the last day of my internship program. Some didn't even know because I passed to them, I guess. And I guess that was good. And I came back from school for fall this semester. I finally was able to come out to my professors without hesitating, send them emails, seeing them, and telling them that I needed to be addressed by this. And as for parents, that's been the hardest part of my transition and the coming out process, because basically they're holding me back from taking hormones and altering my body. I unexpectedly came out to my mom in the beginning of the summer before I left for DC, and it was basically me being emotional, but her saying that she would love me unconditionally. And then when I came back from DC, I only spent 2 days at home before I had to move back to my apartment at my university. And so I had come out to her in public with my brother outside of Starbucks, and coming out in that I at this time I was telling her, I need to transition. I really, really need to transition. And she was taking it emotionally and obviously trying not to break down in public. And I had planned this time, and she had basically said, if you're gonna transition, I can't help you like knowledge wise, like I can't be your guardian with your doctor because I don't know this issue enough. So you're gonna have to ask your sister to be the go-to person in your family for handling these medical things, these medical concerns. And so recently, this Thanksgiving break, I had come out to my dad, and he had taken it negatively. It was unplanned, and it was him basically criticizing me about my short hair and all that. And he already knew, and so he was kind of just, like really irritating the issue because it really bothered him, and he was in denial and never talked about it or to me about a lot of things. And basically ignored me the whole time. So his response was just like very close-minded. Very close-minded. He was just like, "You're never gonna become a man. Just stop it." And bringing out the whole yin yang thing, like I'm just like, since when do you believe in yin yang stuff? Like that everything in nature is opposites, male and females. Like females can't be males, and they need each other. Like even he was even becoming really homophobic in his remarks, like really anti-gay. Like you're just gonna be gay. Like that's basically what he said. Like you're gay. Like you're never gonna become a man. If you like women, you're gay. Um, and so we kind of stopped. My mom changed the topic, and last week when I told my mom I wanted to study abroad in China this summer, she was like, "Yeah, great." Like, because I want to double major in Chinese, and she was just like, um, I told her but I need to transition when I come back from winter break, and she was like, no. Like, why are you getting your academics and your your transition like mixed up? Like your why is this letting you affect your academics? Like, is this why you get like subpar grades? And so both of us got emotional on the phone. It did not end well, and my sister had to intervene a few days later, and that didn't go well. So slowly, I am trying to ease back into my family life, but the fact that my mom had said that this side of me made her really disgusted, and so did my dad. Had said that, and and also blamed me on telling me that like my weight was too much, and I was progressing in a way that they couldn't keep up, and I'm going too fast and changing too fast. Is something I'm gonna have to address, and if I can't mentally, I told them like I got to do this. It's better for my mental health. So um, I'm looking to transition and have more conversations with help of my older sister over break, and hopefully transitioning hormones when I get back. So that's the update. Trying to stay positive, and because I'm gonna have my down days, but I've definitely been through a lot of stuff this week, and I thought you all should know that my process is really complicated and it's really long, and parents are a huge factor for me. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.